Let's talk renting. Now, this might be controversial, but I'm a finance guy. I'm a millionaire, straight up. I have a net worth of over $1 million, and I rent. You might be like, what the is wrong with this guy? Let me explain renting, all right? So let's talk about this. So now they say that 48% of renters worry they won't ever be able to buy a home. This is a survey according to CNBC. Now, here are the stats on renting. Yeah, 48% of renters. Here are the stats. 2/3 of people own and 1/3 of people rent. So the question is, do you have to buy in order to build wealth? Now, keep in mind, if 2/3 of people are renting, okay, that's a majority of Americans. Question for you, why are 3/4 of Americans living paycheck to paycheck? It would seem like a lot of those people own their houses. So what am I saying here? So just because you buy a house doesn't mean that you're automatically going to be wealthy, or it definitely doesn't mean you're not going to live paycheck to paycheck. In fact, fun fact for you, the truth is the U.S. middle class, this is quote unquote from the article, depend on their home equity as a source of wealth way more than wealthy families who tend to own more stocks, bonds, or businesses.
So you're saying the middle class depends on the value that they'll get for their home
100%
more than the actual rich people do.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
So this might be controversial if there's realtors out there.
That's the mentality.
Here's a little fun fact for you. Do you know how many realtors I know who rent? So many. So many.
I'm not.
You know how many people I know that work in the stock market business, financial advisors, RIAs, yada, 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 that don't own stocks? Zero. So what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? What am I trying to say? Is that if you work in the stock market, like you believe in stocks.
Yeah.
Okay. If you work in, because whether you have $5,000, whether you have 10 grand, or you have 100 grand, you have $1 million, you can put that in the market. Now I know a lot of realtors who are like, yeah, now's not a good time to buy. It's a little too expensive. I want to stay flexible. I'm just saving money. I'm renting. I'm like, okay. So not every freaking realtor owns property. Got it. Okay. In fact, the realtor who's found my lease for the last 5 apartments, that guy stays renting and does very well for himself. So I'm like, okay, I get it. You don't have to buy in order to build wealth,
dude.
There's a savings mechanism into renting. What's that? What do you?
It's like me pouring you a glass of a dark liquid and be like, here, drink this, and you're like, cool. Do you want some? I'm like, no. It's like, why aren't you drinking it?
Yeah. Okay. Coffee. What is it?
Yeah. No, just drink it.
Just drink it. No,
but did you have some?
No.
Do you want some? No.
But drink up.
Yeah, exactly.
And buy it. Buy it for me.
Yeah,
coffee.
Buy some of this.
So it sounds like I'm hating on realtors. I'm not. It sounds like I'm hating on buying a house. I'm not. I'm just saying I'm hating on the philosophy that renting is throwing away money. Let's get into this story.
Thank you. I'm going to send this link to my mother and my entire family.
Of course.
Because the whole thing that I've been like instilled with my dad, my mom, everyone's like, buy a home. It's yours. It's land. The Sopranos, buy land.
We've talked about this all the time. What's worked for the boomers ain't exactly going to work for millennials,
I was
Gen Z.
just about to get to that, and we've done this before.
New dogs can't be doing old tricks. The world is moving so fast these days, you can't just take conventional wisdom and just apply it and think it's going to work out for you.
I'm a puppy.
Go to college, buy a house, get married, have kids, stay in debt. No, I'm good on all that. Let me figure this out my own way.
Yeah.
Let me work from home. Let me be an entrepreneur. Let me not go to college. Let me rent. Let me buy crypto. Like, things are changing so fast these days. You can't just do what people have always done for decades and decades and decades and expect to get ahead. And we'll get into that in a second. So, let's talk about renting for a second, because this is an episode on renting. So whether you're looking to buy or rent now, regardless, prices are freaking wild right now. Prices are to the moon, as they say.
Yeah.
But if you're renting, there's something called lease renewal time. So this is a story about basically what you should be doing when your lease comes due. Like, mine is coming due in January.
Oh.
And I got some things that I got to figure out, my friend.
Ay.
So basically, buying a home is like getting married. Renting a home is like dating. We're going to figure it out. We all know what happens to 50% of marriages. They end in divorce. A lot of times, like my business partner, my other business, my other service, the wife got the house and he had to pay her 10 grand a month out of alimony. Just saying. It's not always peaches and roses when you get married and you have a house. So it's a huge commitment. 50% of people
A single guy would say that.
All right. With that being said, a single guy would say that. Look, I'm just stating the facts.
No, I hear you.
So I could get some hated on. I come get some people say, this guy Sal's has got a point. I'm putting things out there that aren't typically talked about. That's my point. This is why I've been able to save that money, invest that money, become a millionaire by being a renter. I'll explain this to you. So when I was 30 years old, I just started to make some money. I had a roommate, my boy. We were splitting the rent. It was like a $3,000 unit downtown Miami. We were each paying $1,500. To buy that unit, I would have probably had to pay $4,000 a month myself. So now I'm paying $1,500 with a roommate. So understand that if I was going to buy that unit, which I was not even considering, that's about $2,000-$3,000 I'm saving every single month. So what am I doing with that money? I'm saving it. I'm investing it. I'm maxing out my 401k. I'm basically doing what I talk about here. I'm using rent to my advantage. Then I moved in with my girl. We were 2 people in 1 unit. Cool. I was paying the rent. She was paying the utilities. So I'm paying $3,000. She's paying $200. Cool. It's a good deal. Whatever. I moved, and then we broke up with my girl. I moved into that pimp bachelor pad that I talked about.
Right.
35. So I'm moving. I'm grooving. Then next thing you know, Pat says, dude, why don't you move to Dallas and come team up with me at Valuetainment? Cool. Done. My lease is up. I'm moving to Dallas. Now I'm paying $1,000 for a little 1-bedroom in Dallas because all I'm doing is working. So I got flexibility galore. Pat says, hey, good news. We're leaving Dallas. We're moving back to Boca, South Florida. Cool, great. Get a unit here. Now, hey, good news. We're actually moving to Fort Lauderdale. Boom, done with the lease. Flexibility is key, bro. Unless you know where you're going to be for the next 5, 10, 20 fucking years, renting is perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Now, everyone says renting is throwing away money. Not if you're saving that money to invest. Okay, if you're not saving any money and you're not investing, just buy a house and be done with it. No brainer. At least your home will go up 3 to 5% a year. Who knows? And when you sell it, you can make some money.
Sure.
But if you're just renting, you got to have a game plan with your money. You got to look at the big picture. So, you know how I say the one constant in life is change? Things are changing. Stay flexible. Keep your head on a swivel. If you've got cash and you're renting and you can stay flexible, you go wherever you want. Low overhead, high flexibility, key to life. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Low overhead, keeping your costs as low as possible and keeping your flexibility as high as possible is the key to life these days. The world is moving so fast. Unless you've got kids and school districts and like a mortgage and a house and you know you ain't moving, if you're young, do not feel the pressure to have to buy a house. I'm telling you. It's worked out for me. I'm moving to a different place every couple years. Yeah, I got to pay some moving costs, but boom, I'm saving thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars a year, and I'm putting that right into the stock market. And you know the beautiful thing about investing in the stock market? You take that shit anywhere. Whether I'm living in Florida, New York, or freaking Iceland working 4 days a week, I could take my money with me. You can't do that with a mortgage. You're set in stone, literally. So there it is. But the little tidbit with the rent, make sure your rent is at most, as much as you can, 30% of your take-home pay. We did this a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
If you're making 50 G's a year, 30% of that, 15 grand, which I think of $1,250 a month. So anyway, that's your number.
Yeah.
So I know I'm going ham on this. You might have realtors out there like, this guy knows what he's fucking talking about. I probably have more money than you, dude.
Damn. Just like that. You just said that just like that.
I just said it. Because I understand the game plan. I understand that if I'm renting, I can't be spending all my freaking money and I have to invest.
Yeah.
If you're just going to rent and piss away all your money, just buy a place, dude, and don't even overthink it. So here's something that I actually found out. Were you going to say something?
I rented a place while you were going.
Just there. If you're renting and you're not saving that money and investing and putting money into your 401k, Roth IRA, investing, what have you, you're losing. Straight up. You're losing the money game.
If you're renting and you're not doing that stuff, you're losing.
You're losing.
Right.
If you're renting and you're saving that money and you're investing and you're basically understanding that it's a savings mechanism to increase your investments and your savings, and you're understanding the game plan of what you're doing, and you have flexibility to move around and move and groove, you're winning. Cha-ching. Thank you. If you enjoyed that short clip from the Soscast, click here to watch another. Click here to watch the full episode, or just stay broke.